Hi there, welcome to my channel. In this video, you are going to learn about the expansion of algebraic expressions. Remember that algebraic expression is a basic element needed in solving most of the mathematics questions. So to start with, let's get ready with your stationeries and we will try out the questions together. Okay, now let's start with the first question. Here you are asked to multiply p with the bracket. Now, whenever you come across expression as this, where you have p and then just beside p you have the bracket, that means it indicates you have to multiply. Okay, so I'm going to do the first step. That will be p multiply with 3p. So that is the first thing you have to do. So when you multiply, you get p times 3p. Remember, p times p, it becomes p square. So the answer will be 3p square. Okay, so you can start writing your answer down there. Okay, so 3p square. Now the second step will be multiplying p with value 5. So that is the second step. So p times 5, you will get 5p. Okay, so since this is a positive term, so you plus 5p. Next, let's move on to the second question, B. Okay, you are given 3p and then 3q, just beside the q you have the bracket. Okay, so the first step will be multiplying 3q and 2. Okay, so 3q times 2. So when you have few numbers here, so you can multiply the numbers first. So here you have 3 and 2, so you multiply, so you'll get 6q. Okay, so the first term you have 6q. Now the second step will be multiplying 3q and negative 3q. Remember, you have a negative here, you have to include in your calculation. Okay, so here now 3q is a positive term, negative 3q is a negative term. So positive times negative will be negative. So here you multiply the numbers first. So 3 times negative 3, you'll get negative 9. Q times q, you'll get q square. So the product now is negative 9q. So you just join the answer below here. So the final answer can be written as 6q minus 9q square. Now if you look at the table here, okay, this is a very important thing to remember. Okay, a positive term times positive, you will get the product will be positive. If positive times negative term, then you'll get negative. Negative times positive, it is negative. Negative times negative, you'll get positive. To make it easy, just remember like this. Same sign, when you multiply, you'll get positive. For example, plus and plus, plus. Negative times negative, you'll get positive. Okay, different sign, you'll get negative. Okay, just remember that. Now let's see how to expand this expression. Okay, so if you are given a minus b times with a plus b. So in order to expand this, first you have to multiply a and a. So that will be the first step. Followed by second step, a times positive b. Third step, negative b times a, and the fourth step will be negative b times b. So let's see the question now. So that this will be the first step where you have to multiply s and 2s, and you will obtain 2s square. Okay, write the answer. Continue with the second step. Second step will be multiplying s and 5, and you will obtain 5s. Continue with the third step, that is multiplying negative 2 and 2s. Now negative 2 times 2, you will get negative 4 times s, so you'll obtain negative 4s. Okay, next the fourth step, that will be multiplying negative 2 and 5, and you will get negative 10. So write all this in line. Okay, now you have to check if you have like terms. So here you have 5s and negative 4s as the like terms, so you need to simplify them. So 5s minus 4s, you'll get s. So the final answer will be 2s squared plus s minus 10. Okay, let's try another example of the same kind. So before that, we see the expansion. So this will be the first step, followed by second step, third step, and fourth step. Okay, let's continue with the question. So here the first step, you have to multiply 3q and 2. So 3q times 2, you will get 6q. The second step is multiplying 3q and negative 3q, which is equals to negative 9q squared. Remember, 3 times negative 3, you'll get negative 9. Q times q, you'll get q squared. Next, the third step will be multiplying 1 and 2, which is equals to 2. Continue with the fourth step, that will be multiplying 1 and negative 3q, which is equals to negative 3q. Okay, now after writing the answer, now you have to simplify. So here you have to check for the like terms. 6q and negative 3q, they are like terms, so you have to simplify them. So 6q minus 3q, you will obtain 3q. Okay, write the answer. Now remember, the highest degree term must go first. That means here q squared with the highest degree. Therefore, you must write the term with square first. So negative 9q squared plus 3q followed by plus 2. So that is the order of writing the answer. Question 4. Expand x plus 2 in bracket square. So you can expand this into 2 brackets and then you multiply x plus 2 times x plus 2. Okay, but I am not going to do in that order. Okay, I am going to use the formula. Okay, now it will be easier if you memorize or remember the formula. Okay, to make it easy, you just remember as this. Okay, so if you come across this algebraic expression, okay, where you need to square, so you square the first term, that will be a square, followed by you multiply all the 3 terms, that is 2, a and b. You multiply all these 3, you'll get the second term, that is 2ab. Okay, here the second formula, you have 2 times a times negative b. Therefore, you have the second term as negative 2ab. Then the third term, you just square the second term in the bracket given, that will be b squared. And it is always positive. Okay, let's move on to the question. So here, the first term you square, you get x squared. Then what you have to do, you multiply all the 3 terms. That will be 2 times x. Continue with the second term you have to square. That will be 2 square. Okay, simplify this. Therefore, your final answer will be x square plus, okay, the second term you have 2 times 2 times x, okay, and you have 4x as the result, plus 2 square, when you square the 2 you get 4. So the final answer is x square plus 4x plus 4. Okay, let's move on to question 5. So you are asked to expand x minus 3 in bracket square. So as the first step, you square the first term, that will be x square, followed by multiplying all the terms in the question, that will be 2 times negative 3 times x. Make sure use bracket to multiply. Continue with the third term. So third term will be negative 3 in bracket square. Okay, now you can multiply. So you have the final answer as x square. Again, the second term you have 2 times negative 3, that will give you negative 6. Then times x, you'll get negative 6x. Continue with the third term. So in bracket negative 3 square. So you will get 9. Okay, so the final answer now will be x square minus 6x plus 9. Okay, question 6. Okay, so here now you are given 2x minus 1 in bracket square. So what you do is you square the first term, that will be 2x. Make sure use bracket, then put the square. Then followed by plus 2 times negative 1 times 2x. Okay. Continue with the third term. Third term will be squaring of negative 1. So put in bracket again. So negative 1 in bracket square. Now we simplify. Okay, so 2x in bracket square. That means you have to square the 2, you'll get 4. Square the x, you get x squared. Next, move on to the second term. Second term you have to multiply positive 2 times negative 1 times 2. Okay, if you are not very confident, use calculator. So you will get negative 4. Again times with x, you'll get negative 4x. Followed by the third term. Third term you have to square the negative 1. Make sure use bracket to square and you get positive 1. Remember the third term is always positive. Question 7. Expand the given algebraic expression. Okay, now to start with, you need to square the terms in the bracket. So that is the first order you have to do before you multiply with negative 2. Remember, the negative 2 outside the bracket you have to multiply. Okay, so the order you have to do the square. Okay, so if you still remember from the previous slide, we have learned how to expand 2x minus 1 in bracket square. So the first term you square. The first term here is 2x. When you square, you get 4x square. Then you multiply all the 3 terms. That will be 2 times negative 1 times 2x, which gives you negative 4x. Continue with negative 1 in bracket square. You'll get positive 1. Okay, now you can times in the negative 2. So the first step will be negative 2 times 4x square. That will give you negative 8x square. Followed by multiplying negative 2 and negative 4x. So negative 2 times negative 4, you'll get positive 8. Times x, you get positive 8x. Continue one more. You have negative 2 times with positive 1. Okay, so negative 2 times 1, you'll get negative 2. So the final answer will be negative 8x square plus 8x minus 2. Okay, now let's look at question 8. Now here most of the students make mistake when they come across this type of question where they go and minus 2 from 5, okay, which you are not supposed to do subtraction first, because the order, the higher order will be square followed by multiplication and division. Only then you can do plus and minus. So 5 minus 2 is a wrong thing to do. Okay, so let's see how to solve expand this question. Okay, first you expand the square, so 2x minus 1 in bracket square. So since we have done this in previous slide, so I'm just going to reuse it. Okay, now if you look at the order here, you have to multiply negative 2. You need to times in the bracket. So you have to do that first. You cannot do the subtraction 5 minus 2. That is wrong, remember. Okay, so when you open bracket, so negative 2 times 4x square, you'll get negative 8x square. Continue with negative 2 times negative 2x, you'll get positive 4x. Next, negative 2 times 1, you'll get negative 2. So that will be the expansion. Okay, then you look for the like terms. So here the like terms will be 5 and negative 2. Okay, simplify that. You'll get 3 minus 8x square plus 4x. Now remember, you have to make sure that the highest degree term need to be first. So rearrange this expression. Therefore, you'll get negative 8x square plus 4x plus 3. Okay, question 9. 4 minus in bracket 3x minus 4 square. So in order to solve this, I'm going to do the square first. Remember, you have to do the square first. So the expansion of the square, if you still remember the steps, you have to square the first term, that will be 3x square, and you will obtain 9x square. Followed by the second term. How to obtain the second term? You multiply all the three terms. They are 2 times negative 4 times 3x, and you will get negative 24x, plus the third term you have to square negative 4. Make sure use bracket. Negative 4 square, you will get 16. So this will be the expansion of 3x minus 4 in bracket square. Now after the expansion, now we have to open bracket. So in order to open bracket, okay, now see, leave the 4. Okay, the 4 remain. Okay, negative times with positive 9x square, you'll get negative 9x square. Next, the sign will be negative and negative, you'll obtain positive 24x. Negative and positive, you will get negative 16. Okay, look for the like terms. So the like terms here will be 4 and negative 16. So simplify them, or you can gather them first, simplify, and make sure you rearrange so that the highest degree term will be at the beginning of the expression. So the final answer now is negative 9x square plus 24x minus 13. Okay, question 10. Okay, expand the given expression. Okay, so here this is the question given. So what you have to do, you have to square the expression given in the bracket. So the first thing, I'm going to expand the numerator, that will be 2x plus 3. So when you square the first term, so you have 2x in bracket square, followed by the second term, that will be 2 times 3 times 2x. Continue with 3 square. Okay, so that is the expansion for the numerator, followed by, okay, over the 4 you need to square 2. Okay, now you can simplify. So 2x square, you will get 4x square plus, okay, 2 times 3 times 2x, you will obtain 12x plus 3 square, that will be 9, over 4 square, that is 16. So this is your final answer. Now remember, if the numerator can be factorized, you can take out the common factor. You have to take out the common factor, and if you can simplify, you need to simplify. Here we don't have any common factor here, therefore you can leave the answer as this. Now let's check your understanding. Okay, you can expand this expression within few seconds. Okay, if you can get the answer as option 3, then you are good. Okay, so how to expand? So now remember, using the method that I have taught you just now, x square. So x square, then you have to multiply the 3 terms. That will be 2 times negative 5 times x. That will give you negative 10x. And negative 5, when you square, you'll get positive 25. So option 3 is the answer. Now remember, you need to practice a lot to be good at algebraic expression. Practice makes perfect. With that, I'm going to end the lesson. Thanks for watching. For more videos, please subscribe.